You're still watching Market View, the Thursday edition. Thank you for staying with us. The Eswatini Water and Agriculture Development Enterprise, known as EWADE, signed a 157 million emalangeni contract with Isipetu Lesikon, the consultant joint venture in the implementation of the Mkonvo Ngwavuma Water Augmentation Project. We're now joined by Bafana Matsebula, who is the project coordinator. He's going to give us the exact deliverables of the contract. Welcome to the program, Mkolo. A very good afternoon to you. Let's perhaps start by providing a clear breakdown of the scope of work for the 157 million emalangeni Mkonvo Ngwavuma contract. What are the key objectives, the deliverables, and the specific outcomes that are expected from this agreement?
Thank you very much, and greetings to our viewers. The contract is for supervision services. Specifically, we require technical support to deliver our mandate. You will know that we have a 2-diameter pipeline. This is a complex project, a 2-kilometer diameter, 2-diameter pipeline spanning over 37 kilometers from the dam here in Bageni, transferring water to St. Philip's, Qontwana, Mqatuvana, all along the way, Bomaloma, the areas to be irrigated. So we have a series of contracts, 6 contracts to be exact, to deliver this project. We have one for the main conveyance pipeline. We are currently advertising for the contractors to build that, and we're mindful to start the actual construction of the pipeline between May and June this year. We also have what we call a secondary distribution system, which is now earmarked to take water from the pipeline and distribute it to the actual areas to be irrigated to the farm edge. And then we have the actual installation of the irrigation system, whether they be your center pivots or sprinkler systems for the area to be irrigated. Again, this is some 4,600 hectares. What EWADE has done this time around, after hearing the cry from the industry, we have broken this into smaller contracts to enable local participators to play a role. It was easier to do this in this case because it was difficult to break the dam into small segments. So that's why we have one large contract over there. But in this case, we are lucky. We will have a minimum of 3 irrigation contracts. And then we also have contracts for the secondary distribution system. So that's what the consultants are here to deliver. They will help us in the first place to be able to select competent bidders to do the work, because we don't want to run the risk of having incompetent contractors to be employed. We also want to be sure that once the contractors are employed to do the work, work is done according to the design, to the specifications. One of the key features of this project is to deliver water by gravity, for example. We're not able to achieve that over the past projects that we have worked on. There is a lot of pumping, so there's a lot of cost of electricity. So this time we actually want to deliver water by gravity so that none of the farmers are required to pay electricity. So that is expected to improve the profitability of whatever is being grown, because electricity is a huge, huge cost driver for irrigation systems. So I think I can end there for now and take more questions.
Yeah, and I think, right. Before we get into the timeline of for the execution of this project, 2 things that I take note of that you have mentioned. The cost of electricity, which becomes very exorbitant. It makes me wonder if these funds are enough to cover all of those expenses. And of course, I agree with you fully on making sure that you do not work or hire incompetent workers. We have seen recently some stories whereby some work that was done showed signs of incompetence a couple of years later. But I do just want a simple yes or no answer. Is this fund looking feasible in terms of being enough for this project?
It is enough. And again, we are eliminating electricity. It will not be part of the equation because the water is already coming pressurized via the pipeline, so it will deliver enough pressure at farm
Okay.
edge, so there will be no pumping.
And what is the timeline for the execution for the project? Could you outline maybe the start date, the major milestone, as well as the anticipated completion date?
Everything is driven by the completion of the dam. The dam will be completed in 2028 April. So we are timing everything, including the main
Okay.
pipeline and irrigation system, to be completed at the same time.
Okay.
Obviously, when that completes 2028, it will be during the start of the dry season. But we expect that during 2029, the dam will start filling up and we can start irrigating so that we can start seeing some harvest by 2030.
Yeah, we also look at the projected economic impact of this project on Eswatini's economy, of course, that comes in many streams, but more importantly, the involvement of indigenous, or let's say local companies, during the process of this, development.
As I mentioned, this project has been segmented into 6 contracts to make specifically sure that all the contractors that are in the country can participate. So we expect that there
Is there
will
a
be
quota
a
though?
multi.
Is there a
There
quota
is no
for?
quote.
Okay, okay.
Yeah, everybody should be able to participate this time. We believe that, except for the main conveyance pipeline, which really requires experience laying 2 diameter pipelines, all the other contracts are within reach. All the contractors, they can be done locally if all the contractors are serious enough and they want to participate. And we'll actually be lucky if that happens because they will be able to then utilize even people in the community, like small contractors. Part of the challenge that we had with our bigger contractors is that they were not really able to effectively integrate with the small contractors locally. So we're looking forward to this second phase where will have local contractors who understand the local language and can work with the
Absolutely.
locals.
Yeah, because the big conversation when there are, jobs of this nature is job creation, especially, to infrastructure development, the ripple effects that are expected therein. And, the big questions then become, how will the local economy benefit in both the short term and the long term? It looks like a very promising project that could, benefit a lot of people.
We expect that during the construction itself, anywhere between 500 and 1,000 workers will be employed throughout the pipeline, as they will not be transporting people for more than 10, 15 kilometers. So there will be direct employment, but immediately after this project is finished, the farming is supposed to start. And
Yeah.
you have seen Spofan, and you can see how the landscape can change. The service industries, the banks, service providers, accommodation, so even hotels and everything that is happening in Spofane, we expect will happen in this part of the country. The beautiful thing is that the government has had the foresight and they want to set up an eco-city so that the development is actually controlled and easy for people to buy properties and things like that. I think we're looking forward to that being implemented.
In the interest of time, perhaps the shortest answer that you can give me for, some of the measures that are in place to ensure the fair treatment and the welfare of employees that are engaged by external contractors.
It's the contract. All our contracts are FIDIC, and it's got very clear guidelines about how employees are supposed to be treated, and that shall be vigorously enforced without mercy.
Mr. Matsebula, thank you so much for your time. This has been Bafana Matsebula, the project coordinator for the project that we have just engaged in conversation in the Mkonvo Ngwavuma Water Augmentation Project. That is how we cap off our Enterprise Watch segment. We go for a net break. Sanel SBI is on standby to give us his decoding of the market rates of the day.